Today is April 7th. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The mission of the White Plains Public Schools is to educate and inspire all students while nurturing their dreams so they learn continually, think critically, pursue their aspirations, and contribute to a diverse and dynamic world. Next, we're going to just start with some very brief comments from the board, just a little update on some of the activities. A lot of us went to a couple of sessions from Keen and Bean, and these are really educational sessions that give us opportunity to hear about the hot button topics today and really just enhance our overall knowledge. Also, I was able to attend, along with a few of us, the Harlem Wizards at the high school. It was crowded. It was certainly a very successful and fun event. A good time was had by all. Craig?
Thank you. We had a coffee with the board session on Saturday morning, March 22nd. We had a few people join us, which was great, from the community, and ask questions of us. The next one is this coming Saturday from 1 to 2 at Ice Cream Social on Mamaroneck Avenue. So if you have any questions for the board or anything you'd like to raise in person, that's a great opportunity to do so. And finally, just a shout out to the University of Buffalo women for winning the basketball NIT tournament.
I'll just quickly jump in. I attended the Citywide Orchestra Festival last week here in the auditorium. It's always amazing to see the progression from elementary school to the high school symphonic orchestra, and it's just a really beautiful transition from elementary to high school.
So this past weekend, the high school, for those who don't know, has a local chapter of a national organization called SEED, Students Seeking Educational Equity and Diversity. And every year they have a weekend retreat. And this is the second year in a row that I went. And it is a remarkable, remarkable experience. A diverse group of students, wonderful, they're thoughtful, and they give me hope at a time that I need some hope. But it was just wonderful, and I thank Wendy Dale and the teachers who facilitated, but it's really the seniors, the officers of the club that really run the whole program. It's remarkable, and it's a great experience, and I'm not that tired.
I will go fast. So I attended the White Plains Middle School production of Newsies, along again with some of my fellow board members. Post Road Evening of the Arts. Post Road also had a STEM fair. GW had a math night. High school art show portfolio exhibit opening. There was a spring play here at the high school also, Cabaret 2025, that I know a few of us attended. I attended Guidance Night, college admissions. I love going to those panel discussions, although my kids are, they're a little older, but I love going to those evenings. What else? Westchester Putnam School Boards Association has been doing some talks. They did one on state aid and long-range financial planning, another one on current events, including the digital world and our students navigating the digital world and social media. The New York State School Boards Association has also done some webinars and superintendent evaluation. Again, a few of us have gone to that. Parliamentary procedures, workers' compensation. The BOCES, the Department of Education from states, the New York State Education Department, did an Uplifting All Students conference virtual morning So I was able to go over to Southern Westchester BOCES to attend that, and they had different school districts presenting some of their best practices in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then the final thing is I attended the National School Boards Association conference. I literally got off a plane just a couple of hours ago. And I'm fortunate to be able to attend something like this in my role as the New York State School Boards Association Director of Westchester, Rockland, and Putnam, and attended some really great sessions. I really look forward to bringing back some of the information that I learned, some really great programs, ranging from artificial intelligence, durable skills, which I'll touch on a little later, food for all, universal school meals, so really a number of very interesting workshops. Thank you.
Your Nicholas.
Yes. Just one more thing, in addition to what everybody else already said, was that Pace Road had an evening of the arts almost a month ago at this point, but it was beautiful display of artwork from all the children from kindergarten through 5th grade, and it was followed by a recorded concert, and everybody was blown away by the talent of our students, just like with all the other art events that have gone on throughout the month. So just wanted to say I'm so proud of our students because they blow everybody away from music to art to sports. So welcome everybody. Congratulations to all the Scholar athletes tonight as well.
And thank you, Jessica, for always keeping us posted with every picture that you can take at the events. We really appreciate that as well. Next, we will go to our superintendent.
Thank you, President Eller. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Welcome. Before I move into our first item, I do want to call attention. We have something to celebrate. I received notification from the New York State Athletic Administrators Association that our very own Mike Chappis has earned his Certified Athletic Administrator designation. Congratulations, Coach Chappis. They don't just give that away. Mike had to do a lot of work for it. So, Mike, thank you very much, and thank you for all that you do for our Tigers day in and day out. Congratulations. I also would like to just draw attention to another group of Tigers who are going to be recognized very soon, actually this time by the county. The Fantastic Five students from Mamaroneck Avenue School are being recognized for the ECO Award this year. And Isaac, Xavier, Connor, Calum, and Luca worked really hard to plan together and coordinate a school-wide challenge where they collected, on a daily basis, it seems, as much plastic for recycling as they could. They visited all 32 classrooms. They made their rounds collecting the plastic, which was then, believe it or not, turned into a buddy bench. From Trex Deck, or Next Trex rather, and they're going to be recognized by the county at the end of the month. So we're so proud of them and grateful for everybody who helped them, as well as the entire MAS community. Congratulations to our Tigers. And I also would like to, and I'm going to pass this around to the Board of Education, just to read a beautiful note that we received from the White Plains High School Varsity Hockey Parents Association. Great picture of the team. Appreciate your continued support for the varsity hockey program. We had an incredible year on and off the ice. Enclosed is a year-end yearbook sharing our accomplishments as athletes, scholars, and community members. Wishing you all a memorable end of the 24-25 school year. Thank you for all that you do. And that's from the Parents Association to the Board of Education. So congratulations to everybody, and thank you very much. So it's my pleasure really to welcome for this first part of the Superintendent's Report, the recognition from New York State School Boards Association Champions of Change, and Dr. Cheryl Brady will be presenting this award on behalf of New York State School Boards and the White Plains City School District.
Good evening, Superintendent Ricca, President Eller, Vice President Letizia. fellow board members, administration, staff, students, parents, community members, I'm standing here in my role of Area 10 Director of the New York State School Boards Association, otherwise known as NYSSBA, representing Westchester, Rockland, and Putnam counties. I serve as the liaison between the school boards of these counties and the association, and as you know, I'm also a proud member of the White Plains School Board, and I am so pleased that we're being recognized with NYSSBA's Champions of Change Award. One of the perks of my directorship is making these presentations to Area 10 districts, and so I do want to be a little on the formal side so you get the full, court treatment. And I had this honor as well for White Plains about a year and a half ago for another Champions of Change Award, so this is really terrific. Very briefly, for those who may not be familiar with NYSSBA, NYSSBA is the New York State organization that provides leadership to our school boards through advocacy, information, and programs. And a drop of history about the Champions of Change recognition. A couple of years ago, NYSSBA designed an initiative to highlight the positive programming that was bringing change to the students, communities, and school districts of New York State, the Champions of Change program. The recognition is unsolicited. There's no application, there's no competition. NYSSBA's member relation team combs through media articles that highlight educational programs in New York State. And in addition, member relations visits upwards of 300 school districts each year to discuss their successes and challenges. NYSSBA's award committee then receives nominations from member relations, and the committee selects programs to be recognized. So on behalf of NYSSBA President Sandra Rufo and Executive Director Bob Schneider, I'm excited to present a Champions of Change Award to the White Plains City School District in recognition of our program, Incubator EDU. So let me just say a few words highlighting this innovative, engaging, and impactful program, and maybe our administrators will have a little more to say as well. White Plains High School has implemented Uncharted Learning's experiential entrepreneurship year-long course, partnering with the Westchester Innovation Network of the Westchester Business Council to offer juniors and seniors the opportunity to develop their own business idea, working in teams to create a product or service and associated business plan, our own Shark Tank experience. And I am happy to say it is an exemplar of project-based learning. One of many such opportunities we're proud to offer to our students. You're going to hear from our science research program tonight as well. And it's also aligned with New York State's recent work on Portrait of a Graduate. And in addition, one of the sessions I was able to attend at the National School Boards Association conference was on durable skills, and these in the age of artificial intelligence, and these are skills that all students are really going to need to succeed in the workforce of the future, like listening, like time management, like collaboration, like critical thinking, handling challenges, decision-making, planning their work, taking responsibility, adaptability, resource management, and these are all the kinds of skills that are embedded in these programs that we offer here. So throughout the year, in Incubator EDU, mentors and coaches volunteer from the community and local business world to work with our students in helping to bring their ideas and plans to fruition, and they serve as judges. And we're very appreciative of our volunteers' time, efforts, expertise, and enthusiasm. And I also want to thank our coordinator of K-12 Instructional Technology, Business, and Library Media Services, Rocco Verullo, who oversees the program along with teacher Ashley LeBlanc, and our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, Debbie Hand. I and other fellow board members have experienced firsthand the impressive presentations or pitches by our student teams of their novel and innovative projects. So let me unfurl the banner. And it reads, Champions of Change, White Plains City School District Board of Education Incubator EDU Program. So, thank you. We are very proud of this. Please join me on behalf of NISBA in applauding all of you, all of us in the White Plains City School District who contributed to and who made this program possible, and for the support of our students and curriculum in such an impactful and student-centered way. And finally, thanks to the school board for being a member of the New York State School Boards Association. So thank you. And you got a picture?
Dr. Hand, Mr. Verullo, is Ms. LeBlanc here as well?
Oh, we
Yes,
take a
Ms.
picture?
LeBlanc, Mr. Martinez, would you all come up to the front, please? Congratulations. Congratulations, Dr. Hand. Come on over. You want to say a few words?
Thank you. Thank you. This is a great honor, and I say the students, we thank the students, we thank Ms. Ashley Blanc as our teachers, Dr. Ricker, the board. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It's a great program. I'm honored to be part of it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you to the board, to NISBA for this recognition. Thank you to Mr. Verullo and Dr. Hand and Mr. Martinez for bringing this program here and for giving me the opportunity to teach this course these past 3 years. The only thing I would add is it doesn't get more real life learning than Incubator. So if you have the opportunity, we would welcome you all to attend our final pitch night on May 13th and have the opportunity to see our students deliver their final pitches to our panel of judges. It's a great night of celebration for all the students and their hard work. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you all so much again, and of course to our parents and guardians and our Tigers who participate in this program, as well as those folks in business and industry who do come and support as mentors and also as judges for the products. I would be remiss if I didn't also thank the Business Council of Westchester. Under the leadership of Dr. Marsha Gordon and the Executive Committee, the Business Council is also a supporter of our program and continues to help through seed money as well as exposure. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Business Council's exposure that popped up on NISBA's screen. So congratulations to everybody, and again, thank you very much, Dr. Brady and New York State School Boards. I hope you're not tired of clapping, because we got a lot of clapping to do right now. It's a scholar-athlete portion of our evening, and I'm very happy to welcome Mr. Cameron and Mr. Chappis up to the front to take over as we recognize our scholar-athletes as well as our coaches, outstanding performances in their sports as well as in the classrooms.
Thank you, Dr. Ricker. Thank you, Board of Ed. Congratulations again to the Incubator program. I look out here, I think I see a number of students and student athletes who are part of our athletic program that are also part of the Incubator program. So it does speak volumes on the work that these students do in the classroom and on the field as well. So again, congratulations to you and your hard work. Tonight we celebrate our scholar athletes. A New York State scholar athlete is defined as a varsity student who is able to obtain a 90 average or above. And a New York State scholar athlete team is a team that's able to have 75% of their roster averaging over a 90. And tonight we have a number of scholar athlete teams as well as a number of scholar athletes. And for the winter season this year, we had 129 scholar athletes here at White Plains High School. So without further ado, I'd like to call up our first team of the night, and that's going to be our cheerleading team, led by Coach Bartolotta.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I just want to say I'm so proud of this Windsor team for not only winning individual awards, but also the team award for the second season in a row. So I'm very proud of our team. Big congratulations to all of our individual winners who won from, this one. Sorry, guys. A big congratulations to all of our individual winners who won from our team. Coach D and I are so proud of you and all the hard work that you've put in during our season. Good luck to our seniors, some of which have committed to some schools already for next year, which is super exciting. We're so proud of you guys, and we will miss you on the team next year. So congratulations, cheerleaders. Our first winner, Isabella Daza, senior. Isabella Espinal, senior. Alana Gray, our captain, senior. Taylor Hemingway Wilkins, co-captain, senior. Lucy LaSalle, 9th grade. Lucy's here. Come on, Lucy. I know you're here. I saw you earlier. Jaretzi Rojas Martinez, 9th grade. Eileen Pina, 10th grade. Erin Rodriguez, 9th grade. And Alyssa Winter, co-captain, 12th grade. Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
Let's take a picture. Congratulations again. Congratulations again, cheer. Next up, we have girls basketball led by Coach Carter.
And assistant coach Julia Reggio, alumni too. Right.
Hello, everybody. Oh, we got 5. I just wanted to say to my team, and I wrote this little something for them. I said, you've proven that excellence isn't about choosing between the court and the classroom. It's about showing up fully in both. Scholar athletes like you inspire greatness. Keep pushing and keep shining. Our girls get pushed hard in the classroom about being the best. So I got this affirmation I tell them when they wake up, and I said, every day, repeat this. I want to be the best. I'm going to be the best. I am the best, right? So they have to put those words into fruition every day on the court, in the classroom. So these young ladies do both. They lead by example. First up is McKenna Austin. Malana Farrar. Taylor Farrar. Brianna Gilzine. Jay Jackson. Paige Kiran. Emily Plata. And Brooke Seri.
Congratulations, girls basketball.
Yeah, and then I also got to say, this is Julia Reggio. She's been a big inspiration to leading the girls and guiding them. So she used to play here, and she got a 4-ride to stack. She's now back with our program doing great things. This is Julia Reggio.
All right. Thank you, Coach Reggio. Thank you, Coach Carter. Next up, wrestling led by Coach Sophos and Coach Carroll.
Everybody, thanks for coming out tonight. Those of you that know sport of wrestling, it's very demanding. I guess especially with me with a coach, I work these guys pretty hard. They have to worry about cutting weight, learning new moves, constant conditioning, and on top of that, these guys were able to achieve Scholar Athlete. I'm very proud of all these boys and girls. So the following received Scholar Athlete this year: Justin Lopez. Yes, and Justin just committed to UPenn this year. Aman Prasad. Matthew Bukai. Nicholas Troiani. Philip Yu. Angel Sari. Caden Matthew Whitty. Juan Arroyo. Ryan Chung. Luke Bellantoni. Justin Milianta. And Elena Cartafalsa.
Get in there, get a picture. Jeff, you get much better. No, no. Come on. Come on. Come on, Mike. Thank you. Good job, Ben. Can you show me that one so I can put it on Instagram? So next up is a special one. We have a ski team here of one. I'd like to call up the Coach Clark here to announce our skier.
This one, right? Hello? To be a dedicated skier, it requires, an extreme amount of commitment. Our home mountains this year were in, Monticello, Wyndham. Sectionals were up in Hunter States, which Kellen made this year. We're in Gore Mountain. Oftentimes we leave before school even ends, and we get back long after the sunset, past 10 o'clock at night. And I'll find Kellen in the back of the bus under a dimly lit light doing his homework. I think, he's an incredible skier, as shown by his accomplishments this year, and he's an even better kid and a great student. So I'm honored to be able to present this award to Kellen Doherty.
Congratulations again on an awesome season, Kellen. I do also have to mention he is an 8th grader too, so he is achieving already. So well done. Next up, I do not believe our girls hockey coach is in the building. We have a merger, a girls hockey merger, the Green East Wave, and we have one scholar athlete from that merger, Sasha Bernstein. Congratulations, Sasha. Next up, boys basketball. Coach Mayfield, Coach Darcy, Coach Sands.
I know there's a little basketball game tonight, so I'll be brief. I'll just let you know Houston's going to win. But I'd like to thank the Board of Education, Dr. Ricca, the high school administration for always supporting the scholar athletes, and heartfelt congratulations to all the Winter Scholar athletes. You should be proud of your accomplishments, and I wish you continued success. The coaches put in a lot of effort with this group, but this is the most well-rounded group of seniors that I've coached in a long time. They're very active. Basketball practice ends sometimes 8 o'clock at night. They can be seen doing homework at games. They were a true scholar athlete team. Their dedication both to their academics and to their team was outstanding, and they're a shining example for the future. This year's scholar athletes: Christian Boateng, they really are faster than this. Justin Boateng, Justin was an all-league player this year. Michael Barella. Quick story about Michael. In the 32 years of the Court of Excellence that Section 1 gives out, Michael was our second individual to receive the Court of Excellence Award. It's a major, outstanding acknowledgement for him. What an accomplishment. The 11 people out of the entire section received that award, and Michael was one of them. Congratulations. Julian Carinanti. Max Friedman. Our Tom Eaton Award winner this year, Judah Golenberg. Asa Hamlin. Justin Lemire. And Jonathan Tuckman. Thank you and good luck to everyone.
Spence, get in there.
I'm predicting Coach, you can't see it, Coach.
Nice job. Well done, boys. Basketball.
Next up, boys swim and dive, led by Coach Doherty and Coach Eller.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Okay. My name is Coach Fahey, and I'm the modified boys swim coach, and I'm speaking on behalf of Coach Carmona, who could not be here this evening. I've got Coach Eller, assistant coach, with me here as well. We'd like to thank the Board of Ed, Dr. Ricca, Mr. Cameron, Mr. Chappis, Mr. Martinez, for all their support during the swim season. Also, thank you, parents, for coming to our meet and cheering on the team. To sum up, we had another great boys swim season this year. I think our highlight was winning divisionals this season. The boys had fantastic swims. The divers did fantastic. We were so proud of them. And our success this season can be attributed to the great depth of our team. The whole team contributed to a positive and successful season. We're so very proud of their accomplishments this season, both in the pool and in the classroom. So at this point, I'd like to read the names of our 27 swimmers who make up our Scholar Athlete list this season. Those numbers also combine to make our team a Scholar Athlete team. Okay, here we go. Oh, sorry. Okay. Joseph Aleta. Okay. Nathan Beck. Jackson Bott, one of our captains. We've got Vincent Sorelli. Diego Chavez, another captain. Jack Cullen. Liam Daffler. Matthew Diaz, another captain. Connor Dominic. William Hawley. Adi Kumar. Julian McDermott. Adrian Mita. Okay, Maximilian Mew. Max Polio. Okay. Roman Range. John Paul Reggio. Alejandro Alusco. Adriano Riso. Lorenzo Riso. Leo Tashman. Matthew Vergara. Joshua Vergara. And we also have 3 swimmers from the middle school that also made Scholar Athlete. Giles Aikman. Misha Borisenko. And Matthew Rousseau. So to say again, congratulations to all of our swimmers and to all the athletes this evening. Thank you.
Good job, Coach. Good job, guys. Thank you. Let's take a picture. Josh, thank you.
Guys, get in for a picture. Congratulations again. Next up, boys indoor track led by Coach Furry.
Oh, he printed it out for me, thank God.
Gotcha.
All right.
We'll do both.
Do both if you want.
You do, we'll both do back.
You want to ask Melissa in?
All right, welcome. Good to see so many of you here tonight. Congratulations to all of the teams that won this award. I always say we're fortunate in track. We have a lot of great student athletes, and we get to go to a lot of events. But I'm always most nervous when it's time to calculate scholar athlete, because track and field has been scholar athlete team for many, many years in a row. And I'm always afraid, is this the year it's not going to happen? This was not the year. In fact, this was a very good year for track and field in the classroom, which is just really important to us. We always tell the students that, you know, this is a scholar athlete team, and that's the reason why we're here. With that being said, we did have a lot of success on the track this year. We sent 6 young men and women to the indoor Nike Nationals. Our boys team was second and probably the most competitive league in Westchester. And we're really looking forward to outdoor, as a couple of our relays have already run top 10 times in the state of New York, so we're pretty excited about that. "27 boys had 90 or above for track and field. Really an impressive group. Michael Grande, Ben Bassatini, Thomas McDermott, William McDermott, Declan Brown, Dylan Lemur, David Hernandez, Jag Aliv, Vincent Poon, Maxwell Merlino, Patrick Cave, Max Barrera, Jorge Hernandez, Sean Afala, Austin Smith, Kristen So, Matt Viola, Noah Lee. Noah Lee is going to NYU next year, early commit. Jacob Santiago. I told him he wouldn't have broke his arm if it was an outdoor track. Kieran Keene. Kieran Keene just ran the 3rd fastest time in New York State this year in the 400 meters. Josh Jamio, Devin Johnson, Justin McDoyle, and Jaden Gonzalez. See Jaden Gonzalez? All right. We'll do the girls in a second.
Congratulations.
You have yours?
Thank you all for being here tonight. As Coach Furry said, we had a really great indoor season. Lots of personal bests came out from this team of young ladies. Lots of exciting results that we really can't wait to see how it transfers over into outdoor track. We had one young lady who made it all the way to state qualifiers, several all-league recipients, as well as one young lady who did make it into the mile for Nike Indoor Nationals. So thank you, guys. Our Scholar Athlete recipients, Julia Amusin, Michelle Arias, Sophia Barrera, Ava Blount, Alexandra Bowman, Jessica Camacho, Camila Castillo, Samantha Castro Perez, Zaire Colson, Stella D'Amelio, Sydney DiPietro, Gabriela Duarte, Trinity Edwards, Lila Hernandez, Riley Keene, Olivia Krieger, Sophia Levine, Mackenzie Lindberg, Katie Menjivar, Caitlin O'Donnell, Isabella Reedy, Evangeline Robbins, Valentina Romero Garcia, Mila Tomlin, Yumiko Tonichel, Aurora Torres, Olivia Suji, Aleli Chirado Salves Cardosa, and Amelie Whitler.
Way to go, girls track.
All right, next up, we have two sports. Both coaches are actually our boys lacrosse coaches, and they are at a game right now in Harrison. I do not have a score update for you, but hopefully we are winning. So first up will be ice hockey, and that's Coach Rubenstein. And now he couldn't be here, but he did send me a little note to read out. So, good evening. So proud and honored to have the varsity ice hockey team earn the New York State Team Scholar Athlete Award this year. Glad to see that not only do they put the work in on the ice, but also in the classroom. Here are our scholar athletes. 8th grader, Jacob Vines. Freshman, Kai Chen. Sophomore, Evan Espen. Sophomore, Jonah Glasman. Seniors, Ari Bernstein. Senior, Ethan Ilberg. And senior, Lev Glasman. Congratulations, hockey. Nice job, Ethan. Our last sport, and absolutely not least, is bowling. Coach Armagita could not be here, but he did prepare a few words here, and I'll read them out. The varsity bowling team had another successful season on the alleys and in the classroom. This is the second year in a row the team is being honored as the New York State Scholar Athlete Team. The team came within 1 point of a third-place finish in a league of 9 teams, and all members are underclassmen, and we are very excited for the future of bowling. Here are our scholar athletes. Peter Marsenison. Joshua Kim. Matthew Grippo. Nice job, Joshua. Mr. Cameron, you want to get this?
You needed to knock down one more pin.
Good work. Oh, wait. Oh.
You want a single shot without me?
She's ahead of you. Thank you again to all the families who came out here tonight, and please get home safely. Looking forward to seeing a lot of you at our Spring Scholar Athlete.
We are very excited to next welcome, Dr. Debbie Hand, again, Dr. David Jacob, and Ms. Fleming, as well as our science research students who are going to give the Board of Education an update on the science research program. And there's just so much to be proud of in terms of the accomplishments. You may have seen some of the presentations right outside in the lobby, and it really tremendous work. And so I think, Ms. Fleming, is she here? Hey, Ms. Fleming, come on over.
Thank you to the members of the Board of Education, Dr. Ricca, Dr. Hant, Mr. Martinez, and Dr. Jacob. I really appreciate the support you show of the science research program. Good evening. My name is Kimberly Fleming. I am the science research teacher here at White Plains High School. And I don't want to spend too much time talking this evening. I have 3 of my students who wanted to come up and say a few words about their experiences in the program. And while they're talking, you'll see up here on the screen, I have some photos highlighting some of the achievements and activities that we've been doing in the science research program this year. You'll see what you're looking at right now are students at WESF, which is the Westchester Science and Engineering Fair. So I had 14 students participate at WESF this year, and 7 of them were recognized with awards, so we're very excited and proud of them. But even just getting to the point in their research where they're able to present at WESF is a huge accomplishment, because at WESF it's very competitive, and they're looking for students who have submitted and completed a science research project with data, results, and it takes a while to get to that point. So it's really exciting when they're able to showcase their final work. And there's a lot of paperwork involved in the process too. So just completing all of that paperwork and being acknowledged and accepted is a huge accomplishment. Also, you'll see some photos of students practicing for WESF. I have several practice nights throughout the year in the springtime when they're getting ready. I also arranged through Society for Science to have 2 Regeneron scientists come to our classroom to share their experiences with our students, so you'll see some photos of that. And I also applied and received a grant this year to provide my students with access to data sensors, specifically so they could measure water quality and do long-term projects on water quality and monitor the health of our waterways. So what you'll see here also is the field trip we recently took to Rye Nature Center, where the students actually got to use those water sensors and collect data. We used that information to help encourage them to consider using that as a project they might pursue, but also so they could get in the habit and practice using and collecting data. And back in the classroom, we used that data to teach about how to determine significance and how to create graphs. So those are some of the highlights that you'll see here. But at this time, I'd like to call up my students who would like to say a few words about their experiences. And if I could have Haley Brick come up first. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Haley Brick, and I am a sophomore in the Science Research Program here at White Plains High School. My research focuses on celiac disease, its comorbid psychological conditions, and how they affect the quality of life for adolescents. And I'm really fortunate to have Dr. Anne Roland Lee of Columbia University Irving Medical Center and the Celiac Disease Center as my official mentor, and of course Ms. Fleming as my unofficial class mentor. To be honest, when I first joined the program, I was really nervous because I don't particularly consider myself science-minded, and I thought I would be really overwhelmed. But to my surprise, this very quickly became my favorite class, and a lot of that is thanks to Ms. Fleming. If you're not familiar with Tiger Tuesday, it's a thing we have here where one of our periods is extended to 60 minutes so that freshmen can meet with their guidance counselors. For the rest of us, that means that one of our classes is 20 minutes longer. And every Tuesday, I often find myself telling Ms. Fleming, you know, I really wish that 8th period was the long one today, because that means I get to spend more time in her class. There's so much that I love about Ms. Fleming's class. For one, she breaks everything down into manageable steps, which makes even the biggest tasks feel doable. We also have plenty of time to complete our learning contract assessments. These are our tri-weekly assignments, and I never, ever feel rushed. But the best part of the class is the sense of partnership. While I'm doing the work, Ms. Fleming is always there to meet with me one-on-one, offering feedback and suggestions to help me improve. It's very clear that this program is her passion, and the amount of time and energy that she invests in her students is incredible. It's obviously that she genuinely wants to see all of us succeed. I'm very excited to continue my journey in the Science Research Program, and I can't wait to see where it takes me. Thank you.
Thank you, Haley. That was very nice. Okay, next up we have Olivia Tuzzle.
Hello, my name is Olivia Tuzel, and I am a junior enrolled in White Plains High School's Science Research Program. My intended science research study is designing a sustainable menstrual pad using invasive Japanese knotweed, or Rhinutria japonica. When it was time to apply for the Science Research Program my freshman year, I was extremely ambivalent about telling my counselor that I was willing to commit to this class. I would hear upperclassmen advise us on the challenges we were bound to face by joining, and a part of me felt as though I was applying merely for the sake of being able to say that I dedicated 3 years of my time to this highly praised course when it came time for college applications. Despite those doubts, I'm so glad that I had enough sense to go forth with sending in my application, as it has been one of my best academic decisions made so far. I'm not saying this because this class has been a breeze. It has not. Much of my time has been dedicated to science research over the past 2 years, both in school and out, and I've had to learn how to manage my time with other classes in my sport, sailing. Getting to the point that I'm at today was long and demanding. Regardless, out of all my classes, it is the one that has made me feel the most fulfilled. Rather than feeling satisfied over a grade or number, I have been fortunate enough to experience authentic satisfaction with myself. Working with a professional researcher feels crazy, and having the privilege to attend competitions is such an exciting moment and pride-instilling situation. This program builds a different sense of self-admiration and confidence in students, as the results that this program produces only comes from self-driven motivation and independent study. Of course, I would not be able to say all of this without the help of Ms. Fleming. She is truly one of the best teachers any student could ask for. She has gone out of her way to educate herself on our projects to better understand how she could assist us, and has made us better in so many ways, whether it is by keeping us motivated or improving our presentational skills. Without her, we would not be the same students, and the Science Research Program would certainly not be as amazing as it is today. I have so much gratitude for how this course has made me grow as a person and as a student. I've pushed myself beyond my limits, I've created so many opportunities for myself, and I'm so glad about how my project is turning out. I've wanted to work on designing an eco-friendly menstrual product ever since the 6th grade, but it's only because of this program that I am able to work on this dream of mine. Now, something I once thought was unrealistic and unattainable is in my hands. I'm on track to work with researchers from the New York Botanical Garden to manage invasive plant species, and I am traveling to Utah over the summer to collaborate with professors and engineers that will assist me in converting plant fibers into a product that might have the potential to change the menstrual product industry, as well as the health of humans and the environment for the better. Thanks to the White Plains High School Science Research Program, I have been able to realize that nothing is impossible. A student can never be too young to do something incredible, and an idea can never be too great. For that, I am eternally grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia. And then finally, Karis Troy.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Karis Troy, and I'm currently in 11th grade. This year is now my second year in the Science Research Program, and I have been studying the computational analysis of effects of ambient heat on brain temperature and its putative impacts on activity in the cortex. Lengthy, I know. I initially joined the Science Research Program because I was seeking something beyond the traditional classroom setting. I wanted a learning environment that offered real-world applications, deeper intellectual challenges, and meaningful opportunities to explore the scientific field in a more personal way. What drew me most was the scientific and creative freedom the program offers, being able to explore topics that genuinely interest me and develop my own research paths around them. Unlike more structured classes, science research encourages a high degree of independence and responsibility, and this open-minded nature of the work taught me how to manage my time, pursue long-term goals, while staying motivated. A distinctive aspect of this program is that it's a mixed-grade class, something that I've come to deeply appreciate. Working along students from different grade levels creates an environment that is both collaborative and enriching. In my experience, seniors have served as reliable mentors, offering advice and sharing their past experiences, while underclassmen bring in fresh perspectives and questions that encourage new ideas. It's a rare opportunity to build a supportive academic community where we all learn from each other's journeys, successes, and setbacks. This diversity of thought and experience elevates the learning beyond what a standard class could offer. One impactful element of science research, if not the most impactful element, is how it connects us to the broader world of scientific inquiry. Through this program, I've had the chance to engage with international research, learn how to interpret and model my work after it, and even contribute to conversations that are relevant in real-world scientific communities. Additionally, through this program, students receive lots of exposure to professionals in the field. Throughout the year, guest speakers visit our classes to share their work and personal experience. They not only present their unique findings, but also offer honest insight into their career paths, challenges, and passions. Science research also builds a foundation of skills such as professional scientific writing, ethical research practices, and statistical analysis, essential tools that we will need to pursue our own scientific objectives both now and as we prepare for college, especially for those planning to pursue a future in STEM. Overall, science research has given me far more than just knowledge of a single topic. It's given me professional skill set, a scientific mindset, and the confidence to pursue my interests with independence and integrity. I am deeply grateful for the opportunities the Science Research Program has provided, and I especially look forward to applying what I've learned in college and my future career in STEM. Thank you.
Thank you, Karis. Thank you to all three of the students who volunteered to be here this evening. I'm very impressed. They wrote all of those speeches themselves. They did a great job, so thank you again. I would love it if you could hear all of my students come up and tell you about their projects, but unfortunately, I don't really have the time for that. However, I would like to officially invite all of you to our annual Science Research and Engineering Symposium, which will be held on Monday, June 2nd. We will be meeting here in the high school in the Media Center, and every student in the program will be showcasing their work either in the form of a PowerPoint presentation or as a poster board. Some of the poster boards are out displayed in the lobby out here you may have seen on the way in. So please join us on June 2nd. I will be sending out official invitations in the near future. And then if I may, if we have the time, I'd like to finish the evening by showing you a brief video that my students created for the science research program last year. So it's a little bit dated. You'll see students from last year's class, but I think they did a great job. They did everything themselves. I just encouraged them. I hope you enjoy it. So let me get that running.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Santana, and my study is an analysis.
My name
of
is
human
Ariel
confidence
Roman, and my
sensory
study is
modalities.
fun.
My name is
Eleanor Beck, and I am studying
The Science Research Program is a 3-year course that allows students to research their own individual passions.
Throughout the 3-year program, students formulate their own research plan, conduct their study, and present their findings to students and faculty across the county. And now let's take a look at what some other science research students have to say about the program.
My favorite part about the science research program was definitely the friends I made along the way. Getting to hear all of their ideas and getting to see their amazing science research work was one of the best highlights of this program.
So my favorite part about the science research program is that you get really good at presentational speaking. When I first started this program in sophomore year, I would go up and present and I would use a lot of filler words, I would stutter, I would murmur, and now that I'm in my senior year, I've gotten really good at presenting, I would like to say, and Ms. Fleming teaches you a lot of presentational skills and how to not use filler words and stuff like that.
My favorite part about this program is the helpful community that you meet.
The science research program in 3 words would be rewarding, rigorous, and engaging.
3 words I would use to describe science research are stimulating, collaborative, and innovative.
Science research is fun, informative, and exploratory.
Hi, I'm Dia Allen, and science research is fun with friends.
Aw, that was sweet. But now to answer the question you all have been waiting for, this honors elective course has no tests. Rather than exams, we are graded on our presentations.
In addition to the presentation practice that we do, we also spend our time completing learning contract assessments, which are a list of assignments that are due around every 3 weeks in order to help us in our own individual studies. Additionally, we participate in lessons, have guest speaker events, and more to help us throughout the research process.
So as you heard a few times already, one of the biggest values here in Science Research Program is individuality. We hope to provide students with an outlet where they are free to pursue a unique research project of their choice.
With the help of a mentor in their desired field, students can complete a research project on any topic, ranging from environmental science to medicine to behavioral science. The choices are endless, and even if you're not exactly sure what you're interested in yet, still consider joining, as that's what the program is for.
Whether it be putting it on your resume for college applications or discovering your true intellectual passions, this program provides an individual with a great foundation to carry them beyond high school and throughout their post-secondary plans. On that note, let's hear what some alumni themselves have to say.
Hello, I'm Jenny Dang, and I was in the Science Research Program last year. I think the Science Research Program is very valuable. It opens up a lot of different opportunities such as internships, research programs, and competitions that will be very useful in your future research career. One thing I liked about the program is that you get to do research on any topic that interested you. For my project, I did a study on plant physiology. I was always interested in plants, and I was able to take this interest and learn more about it from my mentor. Currently in college, I'm doing research in synthetic biology, and I use a lot of the skills I learned in the Science Research Program.
Hi, my name's Sarah. I'm a 2016 graduate. I was actually in the program when Ms. Fleming started running it. And after graduating from White Plains, I went to Emory for my bachelor's. I stayed there and did a master's in cancer bioresearch. Then while I was applying to medical school, I worked at the NIH doing gastric cancer research. And now I'm back at Emory in Atlanta doing my doing med school, and I'm in my M2 year, and I'm actually home in New York right now studying for my boards. If you're at all hesitant about the program, just know that I think the Science Research Program was probably one of the most pivotal and important aspects of high school for me in terms of the friendships that I made, but also what it did to prepare me and set me on the trajectory. And I can confidently say that I love research. It's been such an important part of my life, and getting to do it at such a young age is really invaluable.
Well said, alumni. So you heard from us and past students, but what do our parents have to say?
The Science Research Program has given my son the opportunity to come up with an original idea and then independently work hard to follow through and create a finished project. I think this is an invaluable skill for any profession, and even if not pursuing research in college, it helped him learn how to advocate for himself, work and collaborate with other professionals, and give a presentation of his finished work.
Wow! As if that wasn't enough to show you the magic, or should we say science, behind the Science Research Program. The program would not be the same without the science fairs. From WESF to Somers to JSHS, in the Science Research Program, science fairs are the culmination of all the hard work put into an individual's project. And while initially the awards you win seems to be the only concern at these fairs, you will truly come to realize that the people you meet, the friendships you make, and the skills you take with you are the more important things that will last a lifetime.
Overall, we hope to see you soon in G114 as a new member of our program. This is our Science Research family signing out.
Thanks so much, Ms. Fleming. And thank you to our students as well. What an extraordinary program, and a testament to all of the hard work that not only you, Ms. Fleming, but all the students in the program do as well. Really fantastic. And you're absolutely right. The friendships, the fellowship, the connections, the networks that our students create as they go to these different various competitions and showcases are amazing. So congratulations to everybody, and thank you again as well to Dr. Jacob. Thank you again to Dr. Hand, Mr. Martinez, and the Board of Education for all the support of this program.
This is a truly remarkable program that we have at White Plains. We're very fortunate to have this program, to have Ms. Fleming running it. This program is very, very near and dear to my family's heart. Our daughter started in science research here at White Plains High School. Through Ms. Fleming's connections, had an internship at Columbia University before COVID during the summer. That allowed her to join a research lab at University of Buffalo immediately upon matriculating there as a freshman, which is extremely unusual. It's because of science research she was able to do that. After being in that science research lab, she's now a PhD candidate at Albany Medical School, and does research that I truly don't understand and can't even tell you what she does. That's an accountant talking, and I have no idea what she does, but she does it. And it all started here, and Ms. Fleming, thank you so much for everything that you do on behalf of the entire Board of Education. We're very proud of you and very appreciative of you doing it. Thank you.
I have more to the superintendent's report. But you know what I would like to really do is I want to respect our ex officio Board of Education members as well.
At Ridgeway, March was a month of reading fun, highlighted by a 2-week readathon in partnership with the Ridgeway PTA. Students dove into literature with their buddy classes while dressing up for Spirit Days and welcoming various guest readers. The event culminated in a parade, and together, Ridgeway students read a staggering 550,000 minutes, raising funds for outdoor classroom projects. Through the Friends of White Plains Public Schools, Ridgeway also welcomed Dance Cavis for their Beyond Broadway performance. On March 27th, 5th graders showcased their hard work by performing for peers and family, dancing to popular songs from Hamilton and Aladdin and more. March 19th brought a guest speaker from Cornell University as a part of Agricultural Literacy Week, who read The Pie That Molly Grew by Sue Havenridge, followed by a hands-on activity. On March 20th, Ridgeway's 3rd graders enjoyed a field trip to the Stepping Stones Museum for Children. A big thank you goes out to Backyard Sports families and students for making the basketball season finale on March the 22nd such a huge success. As the basketball season wraps up, the Girls on the Run team is excited to kick off their spring season. Ridgeway also held a successful Scholastic Book Fair this past week, where students had a blast shopping for books with their peers. Finally, Ridgeway is thrilled to partner again with
backyard sports for the upcoming soccer season, which kicks off on April the 26th at SUNY Purchase. Meanwhile, at Church Street, Junior Achievement volunteers visited kindergarten through second grade classrooms to teach students about financial literacy. The school also held a talent show where 4th and 5th graders showcased their athletic, musical, and singing talents. Career Day was a huge hit at Church Street, and we want to thank all of the families who came to inspire our students. Special thanks goes to Officer Albert for coordinating visits from emergency unit professionals. Church Street also wrapped up their One Book, One Read reading of The Silver Arrow, which ended with a special video message from the author, Lev Grossman. A big thank you goes to the Church Street PTA for hosting the 2x2 Animal Assembly, furthering our students' knowledge about animal advocacy. Additionally, Church Street students participated in an animal advocacy train project, where each class researched an endangered animal and ways we can protect it and its environment. The school also held its annual Invention Convention, where students created inventions to solve everyday problems, such as a net to protect fallen baby birds and a band to keep an ice pack in place. Church Street's Student Council and buddy groups continue to lead the way in promoting inclusivity every day. And just in, Church Street has launched its news crew. Stay tuned to hear from our future reporters. Looking ahead to April, Church Street is excited to watch the second grade Earth Day performance along the school-wide Earth Day projects. Thank you.
To continue, at Eastview Middle School, students recently showcased their talents in the well-attended Eastview on Broadway. This production featured student performances and songs from some of Broadway's most beloved musicals. It was a joyful celebration of creativity, hard work, and school spirit, and it offered students a meaningful opportunity to shine outside of the classroom through a memorable evening for the entire school community. At Highlands Middle School, on the morning of Friday, April 11th, 8th grade students will take part in a community building basketball tournament. Teams 8A through 8E will compete against each other, with the winning team going on to challenge a team of teachers. The tournament promises to be a fun and energetic event that encourages teamwork and deepens peer relationships. That same afternoon, Highlands will host its annual talent show, where students will perform in front of the entire school, showcasing a wide range of talents. The show will include a special performance by the cast of Newsies, along with musical numbers by the jazz band and select choir. At Rochambeau, the month of March was filled with meaningful learning and community engagement. On March 5th, Rochambeau hosted the annual Equity Visit, welcoming all secondary administrators. Additionally, on March 12th, the New York Peace Institute returned to lead the second of 4 workshops on conflict resolution with all students. On March 13th, around 30 students participated in a field trip to the Puzzle Parlor escape room. This experience was made possible by a grant secured by English teacher Jennifer Berenberg through the Friends of White Plains Public Schools. On March 19th, staff participated in a faculty meeting led in partnership with IDE consultant Christina Vowinkle. The meeting focused on continuing the progress from the equity visit, particularly in the areas of instructional coaching and academic rigor. On March 26th, Rochambeau welcomed board member Miss Jessica Buck, who visited classrooms alongside Miss Deb Algarden. And on the next day, the school's implementation team continued its partnership with BOCES, working together to explore best practices for alternatives to suspension. Lastly, on March 31st, during Superintendent's Conference Day, all Rochambeau staff, including teaching assistants and security personnel, received professional development on restorative practices. At White Plains High School, several student-led and creative events took place this past month. Firstly, we'd like to recognize Theater Unlimited for a successful spring cabaret that was performed on March 28th and 29th. The art department also hosted the 2025 Art Portfolio exhibition, which featured a wide range of student artwork. This event celebrated the creativity, passion, and dedication of our student artists, and we thank our art teachers for guiding them in their artistic journeys. This past Friday, White Plains High School held its annual junior prom, and as always, it was a truly special evening where students were able to come together to celebrate and create lasting memories with their classmates. In addition to prom festivities, our Special Olympics Tigers had an exciting week as they hosted their very first home basketball game, welcoming teams from Portchester and Sleepy Hollow. We are now looking ahead with excitement to their upcoming homecoming game against Tuckahoe, which will take place April 29th. A big thank you goes to the Key Club and Miss Woodward for continuing their tradition of service by assembling 100 treat bags and writing thoughtful notes for families staying at the Ronald McDonald House in Valhalla. Their work continues a meaningful partnership that began in 2021 and reflects the club's ongoing commitment to giving back. In addition, nominations are now open for the White Plains High School Hall of Fame Class of 2025. This honor recognizes alumni who have made significant contributions in their careers and communities, and we invite the public to submit nominations for consideration. Finally, from our athletic department, we are in full swing for the spring sports season. Students and coaches are working hard 6 days a week to prepare for and compete in various contests. We look forward to this Wednesday, April 9th, where we will host the 3rd annual Coach Sing Track and Field Invitational at the high school. Additionally, our middle school modified sports season is also underway, with students already showing strong participation and enthusiasm. We would also like to extend our thanks to the student government and their advisors, Ms. Harrison and Ms. Andujar, for organizing a fantastic spring pep rally that brought the school community together in celebration of school spirit and athletic pride. That is all for this month's report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and definitely if you need to excuse yourselves, please feel free to do so at any time. And as always, your report's fantastic and just z'd out about 3/4 of my update, so thank you for that.
Okay.
Do we want to? Yeah.
Yes. So Dr. Ricka will continue with his report. However, just wanted to just take a moment to ask if there will be any public participation tonight. Thank you. Please come to the podium and state your name. Please know that statements should be 3 minutes long. Please know that the board is listening. We hear you, and although we don't engage back and forth, the superintendent and the cabinet are happy to meet with you to discuss in more depth or any other matter that you are not able to go into detail tonight. But we hear you, and we thank you for coming up to share whatever you're going to share with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Ricka. So good evening. My name is Corinne Ryan. I live at 25 Colonial Road. I have a daughter who graduated last year and a son who's a junior who was just here but had a lacrosse game and is starving. Both are athletes. And I wanted to thank Matt Cameron and Mike Chappis for the process that they set up for interviewing the next football coach. I heard that there were many qualified candidates interested in the position. While we as community members love football and know the importance of athletics, we have to remember that at the end of the day, it is not about us. It is about the students. Mr. Cameron and his staff know this, so when they set up the committee, they not only included administrators and other school staff and parents, but they included the players from the football team. This is who this decision most directly affects. My son was lucky enough to be one of those players. When he walked out of the room, he knew there was just one person who should be leading the White Plains Tigers, and based on what he said, he was not the only one in the room who felt this way. One candidate far surpassed the others in his answers, passion, and engagement with the committee. He had obviously reviewed all the film from the 2024 season and was able to provide a clear vision for the team based on what he saw from watching the team and living in the community. He did not spend his opportunity in the room talking about himself and his accolades, but took the time to explain what he thought was best for the team and the program. While everyone wants to win every game, sports is not only about wins and losses. It is the lessons learned through the journey. Before being offered the position and stepping on the field, Coach Martins taught the young men, and probably a couple of others in that room, that when you are prepared, you stand out. My son shared with us that he knew players, what they did well, and where they needed to improve. Coach Martins applied for a job, prepared for the job, created a vision, communicated that vision, and hands down earned the position of head coach of the White Plains football team. Thanks to Mr. Cameron and Mr. Chappis for including our children in this process and listening to them when they expressed who they wanted to lead them in the future. This process makes me White Plains proud, and we welcome Coach Martins and his family into our White Plains football family with open arms.
Good evening. My name is Craig Sepler. My address is 142 Ralph Avenue, across the street from Ralph Fields. I have a daughter in the high school and two younger daughters who are not in high school. And I want to speak tonight because I read the news every day, and obviously we're in a tumultuous period for a lot of reasons, but especially what's happening in the education area and with families and affecting the populations that attend our great schools. And I want to, I know from people at the school that what the administration is doing in terms of protecting those students who are immigrants or from immigrant families. And I want to speak up to make sure that that is being publicized to the public at large, because we care. My daughter is not the child of an immigrant or an immigrant herself, but I obviously care about our neighbors. And I see 4 areas where recent politics have really affected the school system. One is the purported decimation and elimination of the Department of Education, and that's obviously going to have huge, profound impacts on funding for starters, the IDEA for disabled students and special needs students, the Rehabilitation Act, then what's going to happen with the breakdown of DEI, because I know how much White Plains prides itself on diversity and inclusion. It's one of the reasons why I moved to this district 14 years ago. I also am concerned if non-gender conforming students are getting the support when the political system is obviously not supporting them. Are they getting it in their homes, in their academic homes? And again, back to students who are individually or in their families are part of an immigrant community. So I meant to ask a question. I didn't mean to make a statement, but I will go back to the question, even if it's not a Q&A period, which is, what is this? What is the administration and obviously our leadership in the schools? What are they doing to show both to the student body in the schools as well as the members of the community that the students are safe and protected no matter what lane or all lanes that they are in, that this is a safe place for them. And the last thing I'll say is I know our neighbors in the North Country had an issue over the weekend, I believe, or late last week, where 3 students were ostensibly arrested and disappeared, is the term I saw in the news. And the superintendent of that district, a small district somewhere in the Adirondacks, came out in support of that. And God forbid that should ever happen in this community. But I want the students of our community to know that they are supported, and this district and its staff and its leadership will do whatever it can to ensure their safety and security. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks to you both. And I should also mention for the Board of Education, Coach Martins and Ms. Martin that are here with us this evening. Welcome. I will also take the opportunity. Thank you very much, Mr. Sepler. I'll take the opportunity to just share not only with folks who are here, but also folks who are at home who may be interested. And of course, a big question that comes up all the time is: are our children safe at school? The answer is yes. And regardless of, and this is also important. Like public schools do not collect immigration information or citizenship data. We don't have a repository of that type of information. And so we stand by this sort of singular goal that every single child in the White Plains City School District, from the moment that they enter the school until the moment that they come home to their parent or guardian, are going to be safe. And what does that mean? You know, folks have asked questions. Well, you know, could local, state, federal law enforcement have access to children during the course of the school day? And the answer is typically no. And that's important for folks to understand. And that's today. That was 5 years ago. It's going to be 15 years from now. There are very, very few moments in time where anybody other than the parent or guardian of the child has access to a child while they're at school. There is one caveat which is important to be very clear about. Is if a law enforcement agency comes to a school, any school, with a judicial warrant signed by a judge, that's a different scenario altogether. But please know this, that in the White Plains City School District, and this has been the protocol for years, anybody seeking to have contact with a student in school who was not on the student's parent-guardian approved list must first meet with me, right? So I have to go there to review the documentation that they have, the authority that they have to meet with the child. Well, Joe, what if you're not there? Well, then it'll be a member of our team or a representative from the White Plains City School District's council. And this protocol has been in place for some time. As you know, our buildings are secure. Anybody who's coming into our buildings must check in through the visitor management system, and that's everybody. And so, you know, even our faculty and staff members don't move freely among building to building with swipe and ID cards. So we've had these processes and procedures in place for some time now, and it is important for parents and guardians to know that when their children are with us that they're going to be safe. There is a lot of concern, and you know, and that's something that I read the letter from that small school district that I think you referred to, and it's heartbreaking, and it's of great concern, not just in New York, but all around the country, and certainly parents, guardians, teachers, boards of education. You know, our primary responsibility is to protect our children, all of our children. And that's a commitment that this Board of Education and this school district have maintained and will continue to do so. And any parent, guardian, anybody who may be in the community that has questions or concerns can always reach out to us, and we can help in any way that we can. And we also have a great network of community partners who are supportive as well. So I think that was really to the point of safety and security, and certainly you and I could chat more if you have questions. And it really does come down to making sure that our children know that when they're with us, that they are safe. And that's what every parent, every guardian wants for their child. It's what all of us want for our children, all of our children. It's what our teachers want. It's what the board wants. And so thank you for inquiring about that. Sure.
Yep. Just, thank you for your public participation. And just to reiterate what Dr. Ricca said, if you have any questions, if you need to have further discussion, he's happy to schedule time and, get together and have the conversations that you want to have. So thank you for your participation.
Yeah.
Superintendent's report.
Yes, and again, the ex officio board members did a great job. Now that reduced a great deal. I do have to say Happy Assistant Principal Appreciation Week is this week. Also, this winter spring pep rally was phenomenal, and I just have to say the singer-songwriters were there as well. I mean, when you're a superintendent and they're singer-songwriters are playing Enter Sandman by Metallica at a pep rally. Tremendous. It was just really, it was amazing. The citywide orchestra festival, again, I can't thank everybody enough for all the support of the fine arts, and the students did a tremendous job. We had over 900 students participating in instrumental music from 4th grade through high school. That's amazing. We also, and the board knows and is supportive of this, we're looking into installing Local Live on the softball and baseball fields. So busy parents and guardians, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, folks who live in California who want to be able to watch their family members that play softball and baseball will be able to do that too, just like you can on Laux, which will be really great. It's coming forward. Looks like the governor is moving forward, or at least continuing to move forward with the total ban on cell phones at school. Some of you are going to feel real good about that. Students right now who are watching at home might not. And if that does come to fruition, we'll need to amend our policy. As you know, the policy that we just adopted is essentially that. It's not a ban, but cell phones away during instructional time, but that students could access them in non-instructional time. That would not be the case if the full ban goes into effect. We'll keep you posted on that. And I do have to say thanks to Mr. G, the PTA, all the PTAs, all the supporters for the Wizards game. Packed house and super fun. Spring recess, not that anybody needs this reminder, but spring recess is next week. For those celebrating, we hope you have a wonderful holiday. And for all those who are able to be off, we hope you have a restful time. Hopefully the weather's nice. I don't know what's happening today. It's not great. I guess April showers, right? And I don't think we need an executive session, but I do, and it is important. I would like to provide a brief recapitulation, recap of the proposed budget. Now, there have been so many meetings getting us to this point this evening, and again, I have to thank all of the team members throughout the school district, from the first day of parents, guardians, community members coming out and giving us feedback and recommendations in October for when we began drafting next year's budget, to the Finance and Audit Committee and the many iterations of draft budgets that they reviewed after all of the team members here in the school district from every single department, from every single building had gone through. We had a heavy lift this year, as you know. We had a gap that needed to close. We were looking to do that and not reduce at all the instructional extracurricular program that our students enjoy. We wanted to make sure that we brought forward a fiscally conservative budget that also supports everything that our children have today, while also staying within the tax cap. Dr. Caro Teich and the Business Finance Operations Office, thank you so much. Tremendous effort getting us here, and you did it. And what we have this evening on the agenda for the Board of Education's consideration and formal approval is the proposed budget for the 2025-2026 academic year. It does all of those things. It hits all of those targets, and at the same time maintains the Board of Education's commitment to fiscal responsibility and solid planning. There are no gimmicks. There aren't any tricks in there. We are constantly reviewing the organization and its fiscal health. It is on a 5-year, it gets changed every year, 5-year fiscal plan, but we address it each year. And you know, it doesn't come without hard decisions. You have to make hard decisions, right? That's part of responsible budgeting. There are a lot of things we'd love to do right now, but that's not responsible. And that's not sustainable. And that's, I think, one of the most important components of this budget, is that sustainability is embedded within the budget, and it seeks to be able to continue to provide the same services. You want to talk about what we experienced this evening? Scholar athletes. You want to talk about the Fine Arts Department. You want to talk about the expansion opportunities that support students outside of the school day for learning. You want to talk about the expansion of classes in the course program. All of those things are in this proposed budget. And they're all in there within the tax cap. In fact, they're in there at a 1.67% recommended increase, under 2%. Really proud of that. You know, perfection's elusive. We're in a continuous improvement process, like everything. And that's part of what we do each year when we examine and re-examine the organization during strategic planning, and then as we move forward to tonight. Interestingly, I don't know if you remember, this time last year we had the eclipse.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Remember that? Yep.
I do. And I'll tell you, you know, as I thought about this time last year, we're in a different place than we were this time last year, in the sense that the governor's proposed executive budget, right, is not done. There was another extender that was filed today. The state budget's not finished. But compared to where we were last year in terms of the predictions statewide, school districts are on much more solid footing. And that went a long way to assisting us in filling that $5 million gap. Dr. Karatosh always reminds me, 7.5. I don't know why you go to 5, but and filling that, and that was really important. So I'm just going to pop up a slide real quick. What does the planning do, right? And these are slides that we've gone through, and you've seen, and for the folks at home, you've seen these as well. But the planning allows us to be prepared to get to where we are today, to put forward a budget for consideration of the Board of Education and the community that supports the total program, allows our students to continue to expand their opportunities, is fiscally responsible within the tax cap, and it's also sustainable. And it's all predicated on the strategic plan. Each year, we look for ways to utilize savings and to reduce overall costs. And I'm not going to read these slides to you, but of course, every bit of it's available to you on the All About the Budget page on the district's website. And you can go through line by line, and you can identify the many millions of dollars over the last 8 years that have been saved through, I think, conservative approaches to building budgets and managing the district's resources. And huge thanks and kudos to the Board of Education and the Audit Committee for this work. Everything is a continuous improvement process. What we're doing today, we'll probably be doing it tomorrow, but we'll be doing it better. Why? Because we're always looking at any ways that we can possibly improve, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to cost more money. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to cost more money, just sometimes we have to work a little bit smarter, we have to make changes within the organization, redeploy resources to where the students need them, and to be able to best support their learning and their needs. And so here it is, the summary of the proposed 25-26 budget, 1.67%. Major sources of revenue. Real property taxes, of course, support the Tiger share of the budget, but increasing more money, more White Plains dollars coming back to White Plains to support White Plains education of late, which is fantastic, and we thank our delegation, our elected officials for that advocacy effort to increase foundation aid. Folks asked questions, and we added this slide. We thought this was an important slide. We asked this question, what does it mean in terms of growth within the municipality, within the city, and how it impacts the budget? Dr. Karatosh put this very nice, even I understand it, so that's how I know it's good. Whenever you have payment in lieu of taxes, and we know that this is a really important thing in terms of development, and while it does bring money into the school district, it does work negatively against the tax levy cap. And so we've been advocating to make sure that there's an exclusion, and hopefully the governor will sign that, that will bring payment in lieu of tax agreements outside of the tax cap.
So this is the complex formula for the tax levy cap, and as Dr. Ricca explained on the previous slide, there are several components that go into establishing the maximum cap as prescribed by law. But what's important is the prior year levy is adjusted for the tax base growth rate, and last year and this year it's really been about 0%, and so therefore there's not opportunity to raise the levy for the growth that's taking place into the community. So as we talked about, it's really important to have the assessments that are associated with pilot agreements be included in this calculation, because on average in previous years, this makes about $2 million that we would have been able to raise in the levy. The other component is the net difference between the prior year pilots and the current year pilots. So that's an increase of $1 million, and it actually decreases the levy. And you can see that with the tax levy before current year exclusions is $202.2 million versus the prior year of $203.1 million. And so that's that $1 million. And so that takes us down below what we were the prior year. And then we're allowed to add in the capital levy exclusion, which is simply the debt service, principal and interest payments on construction projects, less anticipated building aid. And this year, again, we are recommending to reduce the levy or the exclusion by $3.3 million to keep The commitment that we have to the taxpayers when we had the capital project approved in 2022, which said that we would keep the local share flat. And you can see how that's demonstrated with 4.4 million. It's 4,369,000 versus the prior year amount of 4.4. So it's the same. If the current year exclusion was greater, then we would actually end up taxing the taxpayers more. So the recommendation is to use the debt service reserve funds to reduce the debt payments. In subsequent years, we'll have issuance of debt and we'll have building aid, and so therefore that won't be necessary to do. But, you know, the maximum allowable tax levy without that would be 3.31% or 6.7 million, and so we're reducing that by 50%. Down to 1.67% tax levy increase, or 3.4 million.
Thank you, Ann. And again, I thought this slide was really helpful because you may have someone who will say, well, why not tax more? Why not tax all the way to the cap? It's a fair question. And as I mentioned before, you know, there are a lot of things you'd want to do, and so why not tax more? Well, I mean, there are a number of reasons why not tax more. Number one, because we ask for what we absolutely need. That has always been the core tenet of building budgets. But number two is because we made a promise. We made a promise to the community of White Plains, and we intend to keep that promise. The capital improvement project was brought in, and there was a promise that there would be no increase to taxes. And we're keeping that promise by making sure we're making these adjustments right now. So, again, I can understand, you know, there may be a question of why wouldn't we go all the way to the top? Well, fiscal responsibility and accountability and the promise related to our capital improvements project. Where's the money go? Major areas of expenses, very, very important question. Where is the money going? And we're really proud to show that the money goes to our students. It goes to the program. The vast majority, almost 75% of the expenditures, and you'll see this in another slide, are devoted to program. Folks have asked questions about, you read stories about student enrollment data and big declines. Not here. We are relatively flat. We have seen an uptick compared to where the projections were, but again, very close. We do a demographic study every single year, and even though live births are down everywhere, in White Plains, we're relatively flat in terms of the numbers of students. We've also seen the number of students enrolling in private, independent, and parochial institutions who are residents of the school district continue to decline as well. And so that's for a variety of reasons, of course. One of those reasons, and which is shared with us regularly, is that the breadth of the program, the offerings in the White Plains City School Districts are just tremendous. And for students to have that opportunity to experience real life learning and pursue their passions, they're able to do that in a much different level. Staffing, we're so proud of the collaborative relationship and partnership that we have with all of our collective bargaining units and the sustainable agreements that they've committed to in the past. And very, very fortunate to be able to move forward with the full complement supporting our staff members. We actually are recommending an increase in a few positions. One full-time equivalent teacher for a self-contained classroom at Mamaroneck Avenue School, 2 full-time equivalent teaching assistants for that classroom, and half FTE, half full-time equivalent speech reallocation at the high school, in addition of a 0.4 full-time equivalent for the dance program, which will be emerging as the career and technical education program expands, and an allocation of 0.4 foreign language position. And again, I won't read all these slides to you, but this is available to everybody, and it really is. It is worth the read because the level of programming, the amount of programming and supports available to our students is, I believe, second to none pre-K through 12. Everything from enhancements to texts to programming to the course selections, partnerships with BOCES for career technical education, tons to be proud of, especially new courses, robotics, I did mention that dance course, financial literacy, you name it, a lot to be proud of. operations program it supports, everything from athletics, safety and security, information technology, and facilities and operations. And this is the slide, I apologize, this is the slide that I was referring to before where you really can see the three-part budget. And again, 76.74% of the expenditures are in program. That's something to really be proud of. We break out the three-part budget again so you can see what is in these three parts, you know? What's in the administrative side, the program side, and the capital side. Now, folks do ask the question, and we share this every year, what happens if a budget is not successful? What happens in that instance? And first, you know, I've offered a lot of thanks this evening, and I saved, no offense, but you're in the same bucket. The biggest thanks that we have to share is to the community. The community of White Plains supports its children, supports its schools. The pride, the level of pride that you see in the White Plains City School District pervades and permeates every aspect of this organization. I would say it permeates every aspect of the entire community. You know, sometimes we even have to go and ask local businesses not to sell our merchandise without letting us know. And that's something to be proud of, you know. And so big thanks to our community members for all the support of the budgets. But what happens? What would happen? And we hear about this sometimes, unfortunately. Well, if a budget fails, there's a second chance, and a Board of Education could make a determination to change the proposed budget for the community's consideration, or not, keep it the same. But there can be a second vote. But if that vote is also unsuccessful, then you move to what's called a contingency budget. And basically, you don't move, you don't change. And in our case, what that would mean would be a reduction of $3.3, almost $3.4 million, 1.22% from the proposed budget, right? So that's program, that's everything. It's devastating, which is why it is so important for every member of the White Plains City School District community to participate in the election. And it's coming up. It'll be on Tuesday, May 20th. Polls open at noon. They close at 9. We will be talking about the budget ad nauseum for anyone who wants to hear us between now and then. And we're really fortunate to be able to do so. And also, as always, and this is especially important for folks who might be watching at home this evening, you can always reach out to us directly. You have a question about the budget, and you think, I don't know who to ask about this. Call me. Call Ann. We will be happy to talk to you about the budget. We'll be happy to dive in and talk about any questions you may have. And we are going to continue to be out there and connecting with folks. I know we're very excited. We have a great meeting scheduled tomorrow night with the Council of Neighborhood Associations. And so we'll be available. You can always email budget@wpcsd.us, and we'll get right back to you. And as I mentioned, great resource on the district's website. Literally, it's called All About the Budget, and it's got everything in there. You might want to also check out the line by line is in there. You're going to check out People to be Heard. Mr. Bailey is always nice enough to welcome us on to talk about the budget, and that'll be coming up next month as well. And we'll be sure to continue speaking to and answering any questions that folks may have. And there you have it. So the adoption this evening, at the 7th of April.
So Joe,
Yep.
we had a board member that stepped off the board last year after 12 years of service, and Jim would remind us annually at this meeting that this is your proposed budget right now, the district's proposed budget. Tonight, when we vote on it, it becomes the 7 members of the Board of Education's budget, and it's our budget for a month until the voters vote on that budget, which then becomes the community's budget. And I think it's important to note that spending 7 months with this budget and time in finance and audit and reviewing everything that took to get to this point, I think it's important to note that other districts locally are shuttering buildings, other districts locally are laying off staff, other districts locally are getting money that was not spent on COVID funds taken back to the federal government, and we are fortunately not in that position tonight or this month or with this budget. So I just want to say thank you to all the work Ann and your department that did bringing this excellent budget to us to adopt tonight, that we can bring forth to the voters in a month. So,
I would just like to
Thank
add
you.
also my appreciation in going to regional meetings and state meetings and national meetings. I do see also the challenges that so many school districts deal with. And, you know, the number of times I've gone through the budget documents, and every time, you know, the breadth, as you put it, what we offer to our students, to our community, whether it's courses, whether it's operations, facilities, the opportunities we offer are really impressive. We are always looking for continuous improvement. We don't rest on, you know, what we've done, and we constantly try to move forward in creative, impactful ways, and ways that are responsible to our voters. So thank you.
Thank you. I mean, well said, Kane. So really nothing to add. Just thank you. Thank you.
I want to offer thanks to the White Plains community for the opportunity to continue to build upon an already very strong program, to continue to make it stronger, but also to do it in a way that is going to be sustainable and going to be available for the future. And that is the goal. Continuously improve, always get better, but make sure that the program that exists today will continue in its breadth for future Tigers. So thank you again very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Ricker. And it looks like we can go to our consent agenda, and then we will shortly adopt the budget. So, for summary action items 4 through 8, may I have a motion?
Second.
Yes, and really, just the gratitude is the words aren't there's not enough words to say thank you enough for the following donations. If I would please draw your attention to item 4B. $5,000 donation for the Rochambeau Youth Climate Fund from the City of White Plains Department of Finance. $775 donation from the White Plains Middle School PTA to purchase 288 mini trifold poster boards for the 7th grade critical literacy students at Highlands Middle School. The following donations were made for the Lois Van Epp Scholarship: $50 donation for Mrs. Eileen Lovelace, a $50 donation for Miss Elizabeth Schutt, a $50 donation for Miss Kathleen Greenberg, $100 donation for Miss Nancy Tadikin, a $1,000 donation for Mr. Edward Peduzzi. The following donations were made for the Margaret L. Kurz Memorial Scholarship: a $5,000 donation from Mr. and Mrs. Michael Kurtz. The following donations were made for the Dr. Dan Arnone Memorial Scholarship: a $150 donation from Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Crow, a $150 donation from Mr. Benjamin Arnone, a $150 donation from Mr. Jeremy Arnone. The following donations were made for the Sarah Miller Arnone Memorial Scholarship: a $150 donation for Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Crow, a $150 donation from Mr. Benjamin Arnone, and a $150 donation from Mr. Jeremy Arnone. And the following donations were made for the Ed Furtick class of 1957: a $30 donation from Miss Marian Leaps, a $100 donation from Mr. and Mrs. William Donecki, a $100 donation from Mr. Keith Bronnett, a $100 donation from Miss Lois Brichner, a $100 donation from Miss Patricia Milano, a $100 donation from Mr. Roy Madsen Jr., a $100 donation from Miss Suzanne Erskine, a $100 donation from Miss Jacqueline Protano, a $200 donation from Miss Judith O'Gorman, a $200 donation from Mr. Edward Song, a $500 donation from Miss Carol Wood, a $500 donation from Mr. Joseph Cifalolo, a $1,000 donation from Mr. Henry Hamburger. The following grants are from the Friends of the White Plains Public Schools: $2,600 for 40 White Plains High School Service Learning class students to participate in Today's Vote program at the Kennedy Institute in Boston, a $1,725 donation for 75 students from Rochambeau to participate in the Acoustics and Rink Design program. And the following scholarships were granted for White Plains High School students: Sarah Miller Arnone Memorial Scholarship, Dr. Dan Arnone Memorial Scholarship, Tiger Fan Scholarship in memory of Dan Woodard, the Raffaello Pantanelli Scholarship, the Class of 1957 Scholarship in memory of Ed Furtick. Thank you so much for those generous donations, everyone.
Are there any questions? All in favor? Aye. That list gets longer.
It's amazing.
And longer every month. I think
So
this is
amazing.
probably one of the longest ones that we've seen, and we are so fortunate for the generosity from our community. Next, we'll move on to individual action items. The first individual action item is the recommended action of the adoption of the proposed budget for the 2025-2026 school year. May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
I think we've said everything that we can say. And it's with our sincere thanks for all the work that has gone into this budget from everyone, every single person, every administrator, every colleague in the district. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Yay! Next, we will go into our next individual action item. We have the recommended approval of a request for an extension per CSEA contract for a certain period of absence beyond 30 working days for 2 employees, effective 3/3/25 through 5/15/25, and the other effective from 4/16/2025 through 5/15/25. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we will have a motion on a settlement agreement. It's resolved that the board hereby approves and authorizes the board president and superintendent of schools to execute a certain settlement agreement and general release with employee ID number 2260, signed by such employee, a copy of which has been previously reviewed by members of the Board of Education. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. We have another stipulation of settlement. It is resolved that the Board of Education hereby approves and authorizes that the board president and superintendent of schools to execute a certain stipulation of settlement in connection with an impartial hearing, case number 623893, a copy of which stipulation has been previously reviewed by members of the Board of Education. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have a side letter, memorandum of agreement with the CSEA and WPTA. The recommended approval of a side letter of memorandum of agreements with the CSEA, CSEA White Plains City School District Unit 9236 and White Plains Teacher Association regarding retirement benefits for dependent coverage for spouses. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Do you have any questions on that? All in favor?
Aye.
We have another side letter agreement with WPTA. We have the recommended action is the approval of the side letter of the memorandum of agreement with the White Plains Teachers Association regarding charging of paid leave on snow days. May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, I believe, is our last individual action item. It is resolved that effective July 1st, 2025, unless otherwise stated, the following positions as itemized on the agenda are to be created or abolished as set forth in the proposed Board adopted 2025-2026 school budget as recommended by the Superintendent of Schools, and this is dated April 7, 2025. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Comments?
Just one comment.
Sure.
Only because I don't want them to be wondering. Congratulations. During consent agenda, the coaching
Yes.
list was part of that process, so thank you very much, and thanks for spending the rest of the evening with us.
I know. Oh, I think he wants to say something.
Thank you very much. Did you want to say anything? That's a hard question, right? Because now it's like if I say no, come on over, yeah.
I'll be brief. I just wanted to thank Mr. Cameron, Mr. Chappis, Mr. Martinez, board for your vote of confidence, and everybody in the community for all their support thus far. Really, really looking forward to this, guys. I'm really excited. It's good to be home. Let's go Tigers. Thank you.
Yeah, just for anybody who may have a question about item G, the abolition of pedagogical, non-pedagogical, and creation of positions, that's an important component that is connected to the upcoming budget. So really what that's doing is it's identifying in our position control roster the positions that we were recommending within the proposed budget. And then changes to accommodate for those positions, and that's what that is. So it's really important if someone looks at that nobody's losing. You know, that's a question. I'm just saying in plain language. Nobody's losing their jobs. There are no cut positions, and that's an important component of the budget planning and efficiency.
There's a reallocation of
Reallocate,
resources
absolutely.
with no one losing positions, which allows us to expand or change the kinds of course offerings we
correct.
have.
And, you know,
without affecting the budget, with being budget neutral.
Right, and Ann and I were just talking about this morning because as you referenced, you know, it is important to look at the overall size of the organization as well as the offerings to make sure that it's always being right-sized and contained each fiscal year, so that you don't end up in a position, hopefully, and anything can happen, of course, but you don't end up in a position where all of a sudden now it's a big, huge reduction in staff.
Yeah, and it's our, it's our financial duty, as you always, talk about, looking for efficiencies to keep what we have, make it better, but not lose anything. So, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, Charlie, we didn't hear you. So we're almost at the end, so I would just ask, really, it's the hour's late, so if we could briefly just summarize our board discussions. I can tell you, Finance Committee, you've seen the fruits of the labor. HR, we met, we discussed items that we cannot discuss publicly. Is there anything?
Audit and Finance, we were here tonight, right?
Yeah.
So, curriculum did meet. We reviewed just quickly the new ELA program for kindergarten through fifth grade. It's a strong program that went through a really good review process with teachers, administrators, and parents. And it's rich in literature, it's great in nonfiction. It's going to be a real complement to our existing phonemic awareness and phonics program. As well as we reviewed the mid-year data for the NWEA as well as the DIBELS data. So we had a nice conversation about the data and lots of work to continue to do. And the program is going to be implemented in September 2025. So that's exciting for some of our kindergarten through fifth grade students.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
And in special ed, we actually, on the following evening, we had a kind of a similar conversation. We looked at the data about how our kids are doing in special ed programs, and the numbers are quite encouraging. It's very exciting.
I will just add that Curriculum and Instruction also had a visit on an earlier meeting in the month to the Church Street School. And as we do approve, new curricula or the budgeting for new curricula, it's always exciting to see things in action. So we saw math and movement, we saw some dual language classes, both Spanish and English zones, Science 21, Project Lead the Way. So it's very exciting to actually experience what the students are learning. Thank you. And policy will meet later in the month.
I just wanted to say thank you to and acknowledge the high school PTA. The last meeting that they had was around adolescent mental health and sharing information with parents in the community. So thank you for doing that, the high school PTA. And there was also a PTA council meeting. We do that every month, but this specific one was around advocacy and how families and students can advocate for policies to support education in New York State. So thank you for sharing that information.
I'd just like to reiterate to the community, please come out to Ice Cream Social on Saturday between 1 and 2. An opportunity to meet with 3 board members. So if you have any concerns, anything you'd like to raise, that is the opportunity to do so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we close, John Shepherd and John Mishavis, give us a wave. Both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do. And thank everyone. It's very crowded. I'll let you all go home. I'm going to ask for a motion to close our meeting.
Oh, before we close, Laux are we going to meet before Laux or no? Do we have a board meeting before Laux?
No, we do not.
There you go.
Laux, Laux is coming up, and this is the last board meeting before
We
Laux.
should get a relay,
May 8th.
We should have a board
Begins on
relay.
May 8th.
Board relay?
Begins on May 8th.
The 400.
The nation's largest or second largest invitational high school track meet. It's a tremendous, tremendous event. Please come out and support the athletes from all over the country.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good night, everyone.
By the way, the acting hand and I had a bet.